Chairman, ranking member, distinguished members of the subcommittee, thank you for the opportunity to testify. For nearly half a century, the Cato Institute has produced original research showing that in a free society, people, whatever their ancestry, background, or birthplace, are directed toward activities that benefit mankind. Like they have for centuries, America's new immigrants are contributing to our success, working for us and with us to build a stronger, wealthier, and safer country. But immigrants are people, and some people commit crimes. Is mass deportation the answer? No. Mass deportation would make Americans, including law enforcement, less safe. In 2023, immigrants, legal and illegal, were half as likely to have committed crimes serious enough for them to be incarcerated in the United States. Data from Texas show that in 2022, the average illegal immigrant was 36% less likely to commit and be convicted of murder. Legal immigrants were even less likely. Not surprisingly, crime rates and murder rates have been shown to fall in response to immigration. In my written testimony, I show that homicides have fallen in 83% of the 72 cities receiving most of the new illegal immigrants. Cities with more new illegal immigrants were slightly more likely to see a decline in homicides. Salt Lake City was the top city for immigration court filings as a percentage of its population, and its murders fell 53%, twice as fast as the national average. Cato also reviewed every instance of a law enforcement officer being shot and killed in the line of duty in 2024, finding no illegal immigrant shooters. We looked at every NYPD officer killed for the last decade. Again, no illegal immigrant killers. In fact, immigrants were more likely to be killed serving as NYPD officers than they were to kill NYPD officers. We shouldn't be surprised by these findings. Immigrants are more likely to be engaged in activities not associated with crime, such as working, starting businesses, marrying, having kids, attending church, and avoiding drugs. Mass deportation would remove a population less likely to commit serious crimes, which would increase the crime rate and victimization rate for Americans and U.S. law enforcement. But let's suppose I'm wrong, and immigrants are more likely to commit crimes. Mass deportation would still harm public safety. Mass deportation means indiscriminate enforcement. It means targeting peaceful people. It deprioritizes serious offenders. We saw how that played out during 4 years of Trump, who removed the requirement to target criminals in his first week in office. He doubled arrests of non-criminals, pizza delivery drivers, domestic violence victims, spouses of U.S. citizens, and he released twice as many convicted criminals from ICE custody as President Biden has. Trump separated families, which U.S. attorneys said allowed sex offenders to go free. When you're only interested in deporting as many people as possible, you'll downplay public safety. As a result, the number of criminals trying to enter illegally tripled to record highs under Trump. The threat of mass deportation won't deter criminals, but it would threaten immigrant victims and witnesses who work with law enforcement to stop and solve crimes. Let me be clear. When a non-citizen victimizes someone in the United States, their welcome is over. Even one such instance is too many. That's why law enforcement should be focused on those threats. Don't ignore illegal immigration. Fix it. But rather than mass deportation, what we need is legal immigration. Create legal ways for peaceful people to apply, get vetted, and live here legally. Then cops can be cops and focus on threats to public safety. That's something we all can agree on. Thank you.
I now recognize the ranking member for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to all of our witnesses for joining us today. Mr. Beer, does deporting people to another country require the country's cooperation? are there some countries that won't accept deportations? Which countries are those, and do you expect that to change under the second Trump administration?
Yeah, so you do need cooperation from the countries that you're sending these individuals to. They need travel authorization. They need to demonstrate that they are citizens of the country they're being sent to. If you have no diplomatic relations like we do with Venezuela, you can't deport people very easily to Venezuela if they're refusing to cooperate in that process. Now, for very serious offenders, the Biden administration has figured out ways to go through a third country to deport them. So they are trying to make efforts to get around that already, and I expect those efforts would continue under a Trump administration. But it's difficult if you're not going to reestablish diplomatic relations with the socialist government there.
Can you share with me the impacts that Project 2025 have imposed would impact our ability to secure our border and make it safer and do the things that we all talk about? To be clear, we're all concerned about fentanyl. We're all concerned about the overrun border. We're all concerned about illegal immigration. There's no issue that there are problems at the border. But to somehow suggest that doing mass deportation without the steps, as I mentioned earlier, you just can't do it. You have to have a relationship with the place you're sending them. You have to identify that they belong in the place that you're attempting to deport them to. Can you very quickly, in just a few seconds, tell me about Project 2025 and as it relates to Homeland Security?
Yeah, I mean, Project 2025 is talking about essentially obliterating our legal immigration system, shutting it down. Everything has backlogs, so we can't accept any new applicants. I mean, these are the types of things that are going to result in chaos with more illegal immigration. If you cut off any way for people to come legally, then you're going to get more illegal immigration, and that's what Project 2025 proposes.
Got a minute and a half, so let me get to my question here. Mr. President Trump's talking about mass deportations. Steve Miller's talking about pulling 11,000 guns and badges to help with the mass deportations. How is that going to help our streets when it comes to Tren de Agua, MS-13, the Romanian gangs in Orange County, Russian gangs, pulling 11,000 HSI, DEA, ATF, FBI agents? How's that going to keep our streets safe? Mr. Thompson, and I only have 45 seconds. I'm going to ask the same question to each one of you.
Yeah,
give you 5 seconds, sir.
Well, I could do that in about 4 hours, but I'll try it in 42 seconds.
Yes, sir.
First of all, Mr. Cray, I have to tell you how much respect I have for you as a member. You are trying to find that middle road. My answer is pretty simple. Laws are written by men and women. They don't have to be specific, but they can be and they should be. Immigration's complex. We're a nation of 330-some million people. How did we get that way? By immigration. Yeah. That's a fact. It's just, we need immigrants in this country.
I'm running out of time. I got 7 seconds. Give me your answer.
Right, but let me just write the exclusions and permissions into the law.
Yeah, there are 350,000 witnesses and victims of crimes who are working with law enforcement that are in a backlog called the U visa backlog that would get them legal status to stay in this country. We need to do something about that
Mr. Thompson is agreeing with you, but Mr. Chairman, I'm running out of time. I'm out of time. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your